All right, so we are not far from Sacsenhausen concentration camp, and here the SS decided to clear a little bit of forest. We are not that far from the U-boat communication bunker, like 10 kilometers. And somewhere they're supposed to build 150 buildings here in this forest, but they only managed 41 by the end of the war. And somewhere there was an SS bunker that looked really interesting from what I could see out here. And I can't see it. You would think it would be somewhat more visible. We shall see. But I know it's here. But what a beautiful forest it is. However, we're not here to look at flora and fungi. Wow. You know what I say, like I can't see it, and this looks exactly like it does up in Sussen. Look at this thing. Wow. This looks just like the Maybach complexes. Looks like a house. Wow, wow, wow. This is just... Wow, it looks intact too. Look at that. Wow. And there's a little memorial cross. Now, from what I understand, it's not really a surprise that the authorities probably sealed it up, from what I remember. Ah, look at this. Wow. That is something I did not expect to see. It's very large. It's built so it could be camouflaged to look like a house, clearly. I wonder if there's the same underground as there is in Sussen, the Maybach. Wonder if this looks so much like that. Wow. All right, so there's a crack in it. So it did take some damage. Look at that. what I would not do to get inside this thing. But it did take there's a crack in it. So obviously some sort of demolition attempt have taken place. Something sitting out there as well. But yeah, this is completely sealed up. Damn, what a shame. This looks just like the ones in Sacsenhausen. What a shame. What a shame. Wonder where the entrance was. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I cannot believe this. Yes. All right, so here's the entrance. Here's the entrance. I didn't think I'd get in. All right, we need some more light in here. Well, in case you ever wondered where mosquitoes go in the winter, apparently they move in here. Wow. This looks just like the ones in Sacsenhausen. This looks like the Maybach complex all over again. I had no idea the SS actually built one just like this. Wow. Lots of rebar. At some point in time there was an explosion inside here. Obviously. As if you had any doubt. It doesn't look as big as the Maybach bunkers. It looks a little smaller. This is me guesstimating here. Wow. So there would definitely been one floor that came down, which is the remnants of what I'm standing on. And then, what the hell is that? No idea what. That pipe looks original. Maybe this is a water tank, oil tank storage. Ah, look at this. Look at this. Crank up a little light here. I wonder if there was a staircase here. That's entirely possible. And what I really want to know is if there's any more of them. Which really would be interesting. And this looks like air filth. Alright, this just looks like what's called a fender from a truck. And the military's probably been playing in here. All of them. But wow. Didn't I just say how much I really wanted to get in this and see what was in here? Well, that does make me happy. I'm glad I saw this inside. And I kind of wonder where all the bricks come from. Don't see why there would be bricks in here. And I wonder if there's an underground. It does look like it's built on a little mound. So, there might not be an underground. The red-tinted thing there. I look like a shell for a minute. I wouldn't be that lucky. What is that? That's from an old bicycle. What is that? Huh. That's very cool. That's very cool. Now, the fun part is, let's see if we can find out if there's more out there. A security wall, blast wall. And this would have then been the main entrance. Wow. All right. So this is some part. This is not part of the bunker. This is something else that I don't right know what is right now, but I will know. Very cool. Now what I don't understand is why there are no more. There must be more of these out here. There just must be. When the Sacsenhausen concentration camp was established in Oranienburg, about 35 kilometers north of Berlin, a lot of different SS units moved into the area in order to settle here. A small forest was conveniently located nearby the camp, so the SS units set up shop, using the tree covers for cover natural camouflage. Thus, the Waldlager was established. They cleared a small patch of trees and built a Kraftfahrzeuge-Depot, a vehicle depot. This eventually grew to hold over 1,600 vehicles by 1942. These vehicles were probably used to mobilize or refit or form new Waffen-SS units. They had initially planned to build a total of 115 buildings here in the forest, but by 1942 only 41 had been completed. However, the larger encampment contained over 350 buildings used by the SS in the area. Alongside the vehicle depot, they also had firing range, weapons testing range, a dog training school, an equestrian center, bath and boiler house, a weapons workshop, various storage units, of course, an intelligent unit, an above-ground communication bunker that we've just seen. It was known as the Funkbunker Chaos. There was also a large bread factory barracks area was established as well. The whole area became the center of the SS vehicular logistical system. Totenkopf Vehicle Park was used for vehicle repair and testing. By 1942, however, it had become too small and additional SS vehicle service elements had relocated to the city in Oranienburg. Later in the war, the facility here was also used to manufacture Panzerfausts and other weapons. Now, I have found it almost impossible to find any photos of the actual SS communication installation. Most of the buildings were demolished by the Russians, of course, but it is clear that large antennas were erected here, and the largest one apparently would be laid down during non-use, as to not be spotted by Allied aircrafts. The various attachments and anchors in the ground can still be seen. Also, interestingly enough, there are some ventilation vents protruding from the ground, and this leads me to believe there possibly was some underground installations beneath as well. It's an area I would love to look into more, and hopefully I can find more information or pictures in the archives. Now there's something else over here. I mean, there was 41 buildings here, and of course, from what I understand, is quite a bit of this was for the guards for the concentration camp. And here we have a little bit of a building. All right, we'll go around this. Well, it's hard to tell what was what out here, but there must be more of an imprint than that one large bunker. I've rarely seen something that large just as one individual building, and there were 41 buildings constructed here. So one would think a little bit more could be seen, and there's something. And there's something else that looks just like that. Could be tie downs for a large communication antenna. It's not impossible. What was it? It's interesting in a forest. It's not that dense, but it's dense enough that it makes it very hard to see more than a couple of 100 meters. And here's, you know what, this was an attachment. This was an anchor. There's one, other one over there, and in the center there would be the antenna. All right, so yeah, this makes sense. Communication area. There'll be another one somewhere, which means this is very much in the center of the secure area. So if I go outside a little bit, there might be some signs of guardhouses or others. There's a bike path. Probably wasn't there back then. It's a little lake. Oranienburg is pretty much where we are. Sacsenhausen is in this direction. In this bit of clearing of woods. It will be very interesting to see if I could find any photos from when the SS camp was here. But as it so often is, there's just practically nothing. At least we get to preserve what we're seeing here today on camera. Now there is what looks like the base of a building. If I'm not much mistaken, I am from time to time. Either that's a foundation of a building or this is the roof of a bunker. I don't know, to be quite honest. It's wet and muddy. Surrounded by water and mosquitoes in November. How am I on the roof of a building and it's full of water? It's very interesting. See, here's anchors in the ground here. Definitely original. People have been digging here. Also not a surprise. I would like to think this is the base of a building, but honestly, I don't know. There's another structure over there. I don't know why people litter these places so much. But see, this is the interesting thing about being out here is you never know what you find. And there are more over here. there would have been a number of antennas for communication. I don't know if you hear that sound. I have no idea what that is. Oh, look at this. Just full of remnants. Cement foundations. Out here in the woods. Like those two things. Interesting. Another one over there. Another anchor for a large antenna. Yeah.
I always enjoyed the Maybach complex bunkers, the way they were constructed to look like regular housing. I had no idea the SS built in the same style. I would love to know if there's more of those out there.
Behind me is Werner von Braun's first test stand. Down the road is Dietmar's nuclear reactor. Over there is the Maginot Line and all its amazing forts. I'm visiting them all and I'm bringing them to you. So I really appreciate you like, follow, and share what I'm doing, trying to document all these important historical locations. And if you feel like you want to watch more pictures or documents that I use for these, go to lostbattlefields.com. And if you feel like helping me out with my travels, because gasoline and travel and airfare is expensive, my PayPal is there, protectionserviceint.com. You are more than welcome, but you don't have to. I appreciate all your support and all your help, and I love seeing these locations, and I love bringing them to you.